Hey guys, we're in Bell County, Kentucky, in the Tackett Hill Cemetery in Blackmon, I believe it is, Hewlin.
Yes.
And if you keep going up the road here, you can actually enter Harlan County back the other direction than 119. But we're not here about that. We're here for a very special reason. We're here because a gentleman from West Midlands, England, United Kingdom, contacted us recently and wanted us to place a flare on a grave here. The gentleman was a soldier, a decorated soldier with Purple Heart and other decorations, who was injured by German shelling in Europe and spent some time in England before he was came back to the United States. And this gentleman from Great Britain wants us to place a flare on his grave. It's a very cold day, and we've had a time finding this grave because it was hidden under this little bush. It's the grave of Charlie Johnson, Private First Class, 409th Infantry, World War II, December 1918 to July 31st, 1949. Now, the thing about it is he went through all that in World War II, and after he got back to Kentucky, he was killed in an accident. I believe it maybe an accidental shooting, according to the information we found. But went through all of that. But he is remembered by someone in England, in Great Britain. As my wife attempts to place these flares here, I'll go over a little bit of the information I had about him. He was awarded a Purple Heart, a Good Conduct Medal, and a Bronze Star. We are honored to be asked to do this by someone from the United Kingdom, and who, for their personal reasons, the gentleman wanted flares placed on this grave, and he's talked to us in his email about being a private person. But this name, Charlie Johnson, is important to him, and we are honored and moved that we could be an instrument of him placing flares here on this grave. So glad and happy that we could be a part of this. Thank you for letting us be a part of it. And once again, thank you, Mr. Johnson, for your service. And someone is thanking of you.
Wow, that's so moving and
yeah, it's a beautiful
incredible
cemetery.
for someone to have asked us
Beautiful,
to do that.
peaceful place to lay, and really touched by that. That's amazing to know that somebody from southeast Kentucky, from Appalachian Mountains like us, can touch somebody in England and give them the chance to do something that they probably wouldn't have been able to do in their lifetime. Now, the sun's gone down now. When we got here, we had to look for the grave for a while.
Yeah.
It was a bush in the find a grave picture. The bush wasn't there. It's apparently a pretty old picture.
I had actually walked by it
Yeah.
a couple of times.
We
at
walked
least.
by it, and it ended up being, we searched the whole cemetery, and it's a good sized little cemetery.
Yeah.
And it ended up being about 110 feet from where we're parked.
You got the mountains all around you here.
Beautiful place to rest.
Now this is called Tackett Hill
Tackett Hill Cemetery.
Cemetery. It's well kept.
We'll
There's a lot of new, and there's an older section over there when I was over there.
Yeah. That direction is what must be the oldest section of it. This is looks like newer graves, and
Yes.
it's not too dark, we'll do a drive out when we leave.
I guess this will be
What?
some of the cemetery too. They've
Oh,
got
look at
to
this.
expand.
Yeah, this will probably be something they expanded. Look at the sun on those mountains down there. I guess you guys can't see it, but
This is beautiful.
that's why I love these mountains.
Such peace.
That sun just touching the mountaintops.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah, and as you can see from this angle, the cemetery isn't not, you know, it's not huge. It's bigger than just a country cemetery on hillside.
Or a family cemetery. It's
Yep.
It's always good to see them
Yeah.
being taken care of.
Yeah, it's well
always,
cared for.
It's always sad.
Yeah, that's what I'm impressed with. It's a well cared for cemetery,
Yes,
and that means a lot. It breaks my heart to see a neglected
absolutely.
cemetery,
Yes.
weeds and even trees growing up in it.
Yes.
That's sad.
No good. But this.
Oh, here's a good angle on it. The Tackett Hill Cemetery. We just walk on down here on the gravels. And this is in Bell County. But once you turn off on the road, this road's on, you can keep going and you end up back in Harlan County. It's the only access to that part of Harlan County, I believe, if I'm not wrong, is up through Bell County here. We did a video here. If I can find it, I'll put a link in the back end of this and to it where we drove through here. But we didn't know the cemetery was here.
No. But there is one up there at towards the end of that.
Yeah,
Was that
there's
the end of the
cemeteries.
road? Yeah.
There's cemeteries everywhere up
They
these
are.
hollers.
There's quite a few.
There's a lady asked my son one time why all the cemeteries down in these mountains was on a hillside.
Be careful right there.
Yeah.
Those is.
You would think that'd be pretty obvious to her. There's just not all that much flat
Be careful.
land
That's slick.
down here.
Yes, there's quite a few
Yeah.
mountain cemeteries. Like they're actually on very steep hills
Yeah.
as you travel through the Appalachian Mountains.
The sun's off the cemetery. It was not completely down. Like I said, we had a time finding it because of that bush. In the final grade picture, it didn't have the bush, and the stone was a little brighter, it looked like.
I hope that that they're pleased with the.
Yeah. I hope the English gentleman,
Yeah,
this helped him out.
certainly very memorable. We'll be back in this area and
Yep.
stop by.
Charlie Johnson, Kentucky, Private First Class, 409th Infantry Division, World War II. Born December 26th, 1918. Deceased July 31st, 1949.
Folks, from a peaceful cemetery in the hills of eastern Kentucky, the Tackett Hill Cemetery in Bell County. Thank y'all for joining us today to do this sacred thing entrusted to us by Gentleman Four-Way. We appreciate you so much. What do we say at the end of these videos, sweetheart?
Bye.
Bye. God bless you, folks.